Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fallout Roundtable. This is a place where diverse individuals discuss various topics from the Fallout universe. Join us, the conversation has already started.
Welcome to another episode of the Fallout Roundtable. I am your host, Maverick Stone, and today we got a wonderful episode. We got a special one, but first, let me introduce who's all here today. We got Jackson and we got Sassy Lady. Woo!
Hi.
Say hi. Hi.
Hi.
I was going to wait for you to say hi, but
Say
you
hi.
didn't say that say hi part, so I'm like, you know,
Say
I'm going to just
hello.
jump the gun here.
Say good day.
Awesome.
Say good day.
But first, let us talk about how you can find us. You can find us on our YouTube, on the YouTubes. Follow our roundtable. It's the same logo as our Twitter.
The Fallout our round table.
Round table. Piracy. Round table.
Roundtable.
It's round.
It is round. It is round.
Grr.
Grr. But also, we have a Twitter at Fallout RTB on Twitter. We have a email. You can email us falloutrtb@gmail.com. And now let's get on to the meat of the discussion. We've been trying not to talk about it in our pre-notes. But anyway, Fallout TV show. We have a first look.
Woo-hoo. Hot off the presses.
Hot off the
Yeah,
press.
thank you, Vanity Fair, for putting out this article so that we
Right?
can, go through it and speculate things. If it wasn't for Vanity Fair,
We're
Who
all
wrote this
so
anyway?
excited.
Thank you, Anthony. Oh my goodness!
President can.
Thank you for saving me. I was like,
Thank
how am I
you
gonna
for
say this
saving
thing?
us.
Yeah,
Like-
this was put out in
Woo.
November 28th, 2023.
2
Very,
days
very
ago.
hot off the presses.
Yeah,
2
this
days
is
ago,
really
as
cool.
we're recording this.
Yeah. It was
yeah.
a great article. Gave us a lot of cool little tidbits to chew on. People have been chewing on it for the last 2 days, so we thought we would do the same.
I've talked about this for like 3 days.
Yeah.
So, are you guys excited yet for the show
I am
to come out?
pumped.
No.
I am.
You're not, Mav? Why not? Why not?
No, I'm just joking. Of course I am.
I am,
trying-
especially after seeing all these new pictures that have leaked. Because
Well,
before
I've
the
been
only
jumping at
pictures
the
that
bit.
leaked was like sets and like background stuff, but these are like shots, like TV shots.
So, all right. So you had what's that other show that came out? The Last of Us.
The
That
Last
was
of
based on
Us
a
was
video game?
great.
Yeah. Well,
Loved
see,
it.
and
was
then
a
I was
wonderful show.
I
not
liked it. It had a lot
everybody,
of
but I
criticisms,
was a
but I
big
liked
fan
it.
of the Halo series that came out as well.
I-
thought that
I've
was
heard
also
mixed
really cool.
reviews. I've heard mixed reviews on it.
Yeah.
I loved it more than I hated it. Let's just say that.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm not not somebody that's completely stucky on
Right.
like canon. If you veer from canon, and it's still entertaining. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
It is. That's the way I looked at
Yeah,
Last of Us, because a lot of people got
Mhm.
really hung up on some stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
people
it's
got hung
entertaining
up
as hell.
stuff on Last of Us, but we're not the Last of Us podcast. Let's talk about
No,
this show.
but I will tell you, just out of the gate in this article, since I know that you two didn't read it.
I did. I
Um,
had to for yesterday.
did you read it? So
Yeah,
he was
Todd
on,
Howard.
the Fallout Lorecast Patreon episode.
So
with,
I've already talked
robots.
about this, baby.
Yeah.
So you know how Todd Howard's been
Mhm.
doing, a lot of stuff on this, and he stated this TV show is canon.
Is canon.
Everything that they're doing in the show dovetails with everything that's been in the games, but they're not retelling the games. It's new stories and it's canon.
Because
I love that.
it takes place after Fallout 4. It takes place 16 years after Fallout 4.
Now
And
is
it's
that
canon.
now? All right. So if they're showing elements like New Vegas involved in this and things like that, that gives me the idea that they're going to bounce around timeline though.
They might.
That's
They
what
they may do flashbacks, but for
They
right
might.
now, this is an original Fallout story.
It's an original Fallout story, and it
Kind of
looks
like the
it's gonna
Modus
be in Los
Files is an
Angeles.
original Fallout story.
Yeah,
Right.
and it looks like Los Angeles is where it's gonna be, because it
We're
talks
going
about
back.
when she comes out of the vault, what she sees, and it's an old neighborhood of LA.
So is she out of Vault 13 or is that 33?
33.
Okay.
Which is a new vault for the Fallout lore.
It in the Fallout lore, but we never actually talked about it.
Oh wow! I wonder if this is setting us up for Fallout 5.
I hope so. We talked
Wouldn't it
about this
be
briefly
interesting?
after.
You know what I mean? That might
You
be.
see, I don't know though, because the way Todd Howard talks in this, like
It doesn't sound like it's
he's
going
not
to.
interested in telling stories over.
Mhm.
So I doubt it. You know, he didn't want to retell the games.
I
I
don't
doubt
think
he's going to want to
for-
replay the TV series.
No,
Okay,
no.
that
In
makes
game
sense,
form, I don't think they're going to redo the
Mm-mm.
story. They're just going to go out on its own
I mean, it may
and
be
then make
mentioned,
Fallout
it might be
5 probably somewhere
referenced.
else.
You might read references about it, but you're not going to like do the things that she's going to do or whatever.
You may see Walter Goggins Ghoul in Fallout 5.
That would be cool.
That would
I
be
want to
really
meet.
cool.
I want to meet the ghoul.
Yeah, it's the
That's his
Ghoul,
name.
which I
His
think
name, the ghoul.
the Ghoul.
So is this
It's a
Ella
bounty
Purnell?
hunter Ghoul.
So is this Ella Purnell who plays the character Lucy? Lucy's the main, like,
She's the main. Yeah, she's one of the main characters.
she's the heroine.
She's the heroine.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
is on an assignment. She comes out of the vault. Kyle MacLachlan plays her father, who's the overseer. That's
So
all
is
we
that
really
him
know
right
about
there?
that.
Is that him right there in the picture?
That
Yeah,
is
that's him.
Overseer Hank.
Wow, he looks so much different than his pictures.
I know.
I
Well,
guess I'm
because
used
he's
to seeing
kind
him-
of free spirited or whatever, and it looks like they kind of turned him into average American guy.
Well, and that
I like
I'm
it.
used to seeing
I
him with
like
his
it.
glasses on, I think.
Right. The
You know?
glasses and the
Yeah.
whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And maybe he does have glasses, but in that photo, there's no glasses.
Yeah, just not there. Yeah, it's hard to say. He might sometimes. You never know.
For
What-
all of our audio listeners, we are looking at photos from the Vanity
Yeah,
Fair.
if you
article.
haven't read the Vanity Fair article,
Where have you
Texas has
been?
it pulled up so you can watch it on YouTube with us. But there's some awesome photos in this article that they posted after with this interview.
Which you
Again,
can also
thank you,
look it up
Vanity
on
Fair.
And then you can also look it up on vanityfair.com. Look
Yeah.
under Fallout first look, and then it should pop up for you.
And you could probably find it on I don't know, all over Twitter because
All
everybody's been
over
retweeting it,
Twitter.
and all over
Everybody.
Facebook and like every Fallout group.
So
Because everybody's
Everybody
really
I've
excited
talked
about
to.
it.
I'm wondering what this is. Is this like a communication device? Like they look at
I
this
don't know. I
round
wondered
thing?
that too. I was like, what is this weird looking? It looks like
Maybe
one of
it's a
those
door. Maybe it's
things
just
from
a
a
door.
submarine. What is that? The eyepiece
The
thing that you look
bulkheads.
at?
Well, no, I'm not
bulkheads.
talking about the ball. You see the cross thing right there with the.
It
with
looks like the little
cylindrical ball.
eyepiece thing that you
I-
look out of
I-
in a submarine.
I either think that or it's like a type of communications device.
Well, that's
It's
what I'm
part of
saying.
the-
I'm
connected
thinking
part of
that
the-
might actually be a visual, like a picture tube. Like you look at it and you can see an image within it.
Oh no, that'd be cool
That's what I'm
That'd
kind
be
of
pretty
thinking.
cool.
That'd be kind of. I think that's what it kind of might be.
because it's not really connected to anything. Although that little top part could be like some kind of wired adapter,
I don't know
like
if
a
you guys
wireless.
can remember or not,
transmitter?
but like televisions used to have this roundish, bulbous look to them, like
Yeah.
a fish
Uh-huh.
bowl.
Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
kind of thinking that, like that kind of element to it.
With the
I don't know.
tube.
But,
Right,
but
because
where
that's
would
what they
you
still
do
have.
TV though? Down in a vault though? That's my question.
Well, I don't think it would be a TV. I would think that would be like a communication device to where they were attempting to communicate with other vaults, possibly. You
Or
know what I
even
mean?
for just an internal
She's
communication.
tinkering, is what it looks like to me. Like she's
It
trying to
does look
create-
like it
yeah.
with all the
Because if you look
wires and
behind
things
you
on
there,
the-
it's telling you, current is the same across each.
she's talking about. Yeah.
The voltage is divided, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's equations. I don't know if that's
Science.
I don't know if that's relative to what she's doing or if
It
that's
looks
just
like
part
she's
the
some kind of
classroom.
a techie
nerd.
engineering kind of nerd.
Nerd.
Yeah,
Nerd.
That's what it looks like. It looks like dad's kind of looking over his shoulder, like, I'm so proud of you, honey.
Nerd.
But they talk about, so Vanity Fair's article starts out talking about basically what Fallout is, and then goes into
For all
talking
those
about
people
the
that don't
TV
know,
show
Fallout is a
and
post-apocalyptic world.
who's producing it, who's directing it, what their backgrounds are, and then talks a little bit about the actors. Sprinkles in these pictures that are really great.
I love this picture right here.
The group of power armor.
Yeah, it was a topic of discussion last night,
The
or as we're
squads.
recording this for the patron Fallout round Lorecast with Tom, patron
Yeah.
episode,
The
there
power
was
armor-
there was a discussion about this photo.
The power armor looks pretty good, I think.
That
do
we were
like the power
talking
armor.
about
Yeah.
that these
Were
were
you talking
actual
about
suits and not
the
CGI.
paint?
Well, no.
So what do you
yeah.
think about the paint? Because it's not paint we've really seen before. It looks
Well, it's Brotherhood of
camo.
Steel.
We've not seen that paint before. I get the emblem on the front is Brotherhood of Steel, but I've not seen like camo. Have we seen camo?
I don't think it is. I
don't think that's camo. I think that's just like a gray, and then there's like dirty spots on it.
Yeah,
But they're so uniform. Dirty
yeah,
spots.
I guess. I 'cause
guess.
well, if you look where the emblem is, you look just to the top right.
Yep.
Yeah,
On
they
every
got that-
single suit.
Yeah, it is in the
All
same
5 of
spot.
them.
It's
Yeah.
all
And then there's like
uniform.
black
It's
on
just
the
different.
sides. There's black on the knees, so it kind of looks, and if you look at camo, it has a pattern. So to me,
maybe.
that it just reminds me, there's a lot of camo in my house. Sorry. I see camo. My son loves it. It's great.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. It just didn't seem camo-y to me. It just, maybe because the metal's so shiny.
It's not really shiny. It looks really dull, actually.
I feel like it's just the way the picture's taken, to be honest.
I don't know. Y'all tell us. I don't think it's shiny. I think it's pretty dull. I think it looks like a very
shiny, like the
dull
helmet
green,
from
army
Star
color
Wars,
green.
but it
Me.
has brighter color, is what I guess I should have
That's
said.
lighting.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
lighting.
it could be just lighting, to be honest.
Yeah, that's lighting.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
semantics, guys.
Yeah,
Semantics.
yes,
So-
it's semantics. We're getting in specifics about this photo. When we can just look at all the helmet and
I'm
goggles and
wondering
stuff.
though, like, so I did see some other picture in here
There's
where it
a
was showing like one of their
single power armor suit.
this right here.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
not
that
the
was
Pridwin?
another thing. No, it's not the Pridwin.
It's not the Pridwin, but
It's
somebody
not the
said
Prid-
it was, and I was like, it's not. At
It's
least
not
it's
the
not.
Pridwin.
They said it's not, and it doesn't look like it. So
The name is still it's a different phrase for the Pridwin.
Caswanon.
Yeah, the Caswanon.
Caswanon, is that how you say it?
is-
Caswanon?
I don't know.
Is
There's a
another
name.
word for the Pridwin, but it's kind of it's kind of like that thing like with the Titanic and all the first, and like there were 3 Titanic type ships made
Mhm.
that we
With
were
different names.
thinking, yeah, with different names.
Every ship will have a different name. Plus, this is on a different coast. But the
So I'm
Pridwin came
assuming
from
these are, like,
California, but
recruits. They look very young.
We were also discussing whether or not this will decide what the canon ending for Fallout 4 is,
oh yeah, because nobody
based
really
on
knows,
this photo
right?
right here.
That's true. Because do you think that this is like recruits heading out to the East Coast?
Well, I don't know if they're heading out because you don't see any like gear. All you see is them in their
They might be in
BDUs, kind of
boot
just
camp or something.
Well, it's like, to me, this looks like a bunch of guys who are chilling out, probably in the mess hall or something, or whatever. And this showed up, so they're stepping out and they're like, "Whoa, dude, we're gonna be on one of those."
Whoa,
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that could be.
bro.
Yeah.
They're kind of like checking it out.
Because they seem, like you said, they seem young, like they're recruits.
Yeah.
It's definitely Brotherhood of Steel. Let's just all put that behind us.
Well, that's a good.
Well, I don't think anybody argued that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to say that, to be honest, just to put it out there. Now let's talk
Especially
about this
since
gun
the
here.
Brotherhood of Steel emblem
So this is
slapped all over
Marcus.
the power armor.
Yeah, yep, that's Maximus.
No, see, I see a sheen to that metal.
I
there.
do. I
Yeah.
do too. Now let's talk about this gun here.
Yeah, this one, sure.
Let's talk about this gun. How big do you like your guns?
Well, it's
Well, bigger the better, but
well, my
it's
thing
not
about it
the
is
size. It's
it's
if
the
you
odd shape to
notice-
the front of the barrel there.
yeah.
It's-
I mean,
No,
especially since the
here's
back
the
of
thing.
the back of the stock looks like a normal, like rifle.
yeah.
If you notice in Fallout 4, if you don't that type of weapon, if you don't upgrade the front to the smaller one, it looks exactly like that.
You know what it reminds me of is an airplane gunner's gun.
Yeah, because I mean, it looks like it's all just hacked
Yeah.
together, like a rifle with stuck together with a minigun, stuck together with.
Well, if you look just
some
below
other
where the
kinda gun.
scope is there, you see that
Yeah.
screw spot right
Yep.
there?
Well,
That looks
yeah,
to me
that's
like
for where
that
they
ginormous screw.
yeah.
that huge.
Like you would never have
screw.
a screw that big on an actual gun. unless
I mean, you could.
it was, yeah, like you said, like something that's supposed to be attached to a ship or a
Well, it looks like
plane
it's
or-
got like setups on the bottom for like attaching a tripod
yeah.
or being able to lay down.
It
if fire.
could,
you
but
would
I
use
think
to
that
shoot out
that's
the
just
side
your
of a
normal
vertibird.
assault rifle, though, that you see in the game. Though that's just not the modified version that we're all used to. The smaller stock, the better, the smaller, yeah, the stock, the barrel itself is. We always like the shorter one because the bigger one always looks dumb in the game.
I would think that
I mean-
drum on the side of the firearm would have to be bigger though. If you're firing
Yeah.
7.62,
Yeah,
if those are firing,
Especially if you're using it in the vertibird.
well, if that's firing 7.62 rounds, I mean that's
That-
maybe
that's a-
50
that-
rounds.
yeah, that's not enough.
Well, that's why you got this guy over here, the scribe or whatever.
Yeah, that's Maximus.
Squire. He was a squire.
Is that what he is?
Maximus is a
Yeah,
is a
and
new
he's a
squire.
Okay, so is he a brand new actual squire or is he a
Yes.
recruit?
Yeah,
Like
he's a
where-
brand
he's
new
He's
squire.
a brand new squire, and it's like he's going to go up the ranks, but he starts out as a squire, which is basically he runs around as this guy's little valet, basically.
You know,
He-
I guess
he's
his
that
job is
dude's
to
douche.
chuck the drums of ammo over, apparently.
now that I'm looking at this armor closer, like you see right where the emblem is for the Brotherhood of Steel, right on top. Of
Yeah,
that spot
they
I
all
was
got
talking
that
about
dirty
before.
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like it's actually doesn't look like camo. It just looks like they got the
Well,
same.
not in this
damage
shot. No,
spots. You know
no,
what I
not
mean?
in this shot.
It actually looks like
It's-
they just had the same damage and the same.
The weathering.
Oh, you know what it is? It's probably blaster shots. Like
in the same
Yes.
spot on every.
Yeah.
well,
See-
it's in the chest plate, so they're trying to take them down. So and their armor's built to take damage. So
yeah,
maybe-
it's built to take
Sure,
that.
but when you're doing weathering, if you know anything about this kind of thing, because I paint miniatures, don't paint all your stuff
same?
identical because
Yeah,
it's not
you-
real life and it breaks immersion.
Sometimes you got to do it though. To be
No, you don't.
honest, did like?
I
with
mean,
clone
everybody got
troopers,
shot in the same place on the chest. That's reality. Boy, somebody's a really good shot and likes.
or someone's a really lousy shot because they keep hitting the same spot.
And, well, I mean, at least they hit them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you're
not like a
wrong.
stormtrooper who misses every time they fire.
Right.
Every single time. I'm like, dude, take off your helmet.
I don't know.
But let's talk
we're at
about
the-
this
we're-
dude
we're
in
at
the
the
power
beginning.
armor.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this dude in the
Yeah,
power
I mean,
armor.
he's huge.
He is hulking
He's
huge.
huge.
So I'm guessing that this guy's probably about 5.
Probably
Anywhere
about
to-
the size of me.
Let's be generous and say he's like 5'6", 5'8".
I'm
Well, he might be
5'8".
5'9", you know. I mean,
Right.
this might be a
Let's say he's
7.
average height,
Yeah.
5'9", 5'10", right?
Yeah, so this
I'm-
guy's
That
Yeah.
dude's
7
like
foot tall.
3 feet taller.
that is
You know
that
what's
is a
weird though
big
is because
dude.
like so Ben in his power armor outfit is actually about that tall.
He's
Yeah,
bigger
he is
too. Yeah.
huge.
He
He's
comes out
huge,
to
yeah.
well, he's a big dude anyway. He's about 6'3",
Okay, yeah.
I think,
Mhm.
or
Yeah, you're
something
right.
like
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
But
You're
with
right.
that extension on his boots, it almost makes him 7 foot tall. So that's I'm guessing that's probably about 7 feet high.
I'd say about 7.5.
Yeah,
But you
that's-
also
that's
got to
tall.
see here. Also, that's not CGI. That doesn't look CGI at all.
No, I don't think.
No, I don't think no, because they built the power armor suits.
Yeah,
I,
those
saw
are one
that.
I would
things
have to
that
say
I am
very
happy
unlikely.
for. I am happy.
And they
that
did
it's
look
not
like they were
CGI.
going to be big from the shots that we saw from behind
Earlier.
the scenes.
The
a while
detail
ago.
though is so good.
The
Yeah,
detail's
yeah.
fantastic.
It has all the sprockets like in the game. It's awesome. When I first saw this, when it first came out, I'm like, oh my god.
I think the detail
I'm
on the
in
suit is
love.
better than the detail on the gun, to be honest. The
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
gun
they
looks
did-
a lot plainer than what
The
we're
gun
was
is
that stuff?
almost janky,
except
to
for the
me, but
back part. The
that's
back
just
part
me.
looks pretty good. It's the front part that, like you said, the front part.
I feel like they just did that because it's the stock version of the gun. Besides the actual stock of it, though, and
Yeah.
and the clip.
I guess I'm just so used to seeing the Gatlings and stuff like that. You know,
Oh, no, I get
don't
that,
use
the bigger
assault
guns
rifle,
and
so I
everything.
don't really remember that. So.
I use the assault rifle a lot in Fallout 4. I call it the angry autistic.
Ah.
I can make that joke. Okay, I can make that joke because
we were going
I
to question
am-
you, man.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody's saying anything.
So, what No,
So-
is it me or does this? I mean, do
This
you
town
expect to see a
is.
nuke in the middle of this town?
I know you expect it, right? Because it looks a
Yeah.
lot like Megaton.
We
Um,
talked about this too.
Because you
last
even
night.
got airplane parts.
Yeah,
So-
there's
so
so many
actually-
airplane parts.
And did you see what the actual name of it is? It's
It's Philly.
it's not the pit, but it's something like that.
No, it's Philly.
Philly, yeah, that's it.
It's Philly because we all thought it was Philadelphia at first.
Right. That's the first thing I thought too. And then they said a neighborhood in Los Angeles. And I was like,
Been like,
okay, that makes sense
nah,
to me.
bruh.
So they just
I guess it used to be a
named this
junkyard or something.
neighborhood Philly.
The
This little
neighborhood is
town.
called Philly.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see it. Now I see it.
And
Yeah,
we
okay.
think that that this main character here is coming out in an airplane fuselage and not out of her vault.
No, this
We
is
think
not a
she's-
vault. Well, yeah,
No.
this is fuselage because it's exactly what it looks like in 76 when we stand in the plane that crashed over by Helvetia.
Oh, there's no question that this is an airplane husk that
Right.
she's
And
standing
then the
in.
plane that's in
We
Morgantown, those all
also
look
we
like
also
that.
speculated that hey, maybe like in Fallout 3, you go through the door before you actually go out.
I can't wait to be able to
Oh,
see,
yeah.
like once
Like a
through the,
cave?
once you're able to look
Yeah.
at the show, a scene like this right here, at some point, it's gonna like clear up, and you're gonna actually
Oh
be able
my
to see that
God.
landscape.
Yeah.
I'm just so
it's
curious to
gonna
Yeah,
see
be
because there
what's
won't
gonna
so
be
good.
smog. There won't be smog in LA.
It'll
be amazing.
Well, there
Depends
could
on how
still
much
be.
stuff's
So you'll see the
burning.
boneyard.
Well, all right. So remember, like
boneyard.
Necropolis in
There's
the
still a
game,
ton of
is
smog.
still burning all the time. So there's
it's
no
still
telling.
Oh,
burning.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's kind of like the pit. They're still burning.
Fallout's world.
And then Walter Goggins himself. We get
This
to
is an
see.
Walton, yes.
iconic shot. I think
It
that
is
I
this-
a
love that
great shot.
yeah.
So
And it's a bounty hunter ghoul.
shout
would never
out to
see one of
Northern
those.
Harvest from Fallout 76 Wasteland Theater, who recreated this shot with his character and got so close. He posted
How
on
close
Twitter.
did he
Go
get?
check it out, you guys. It looks really good.
How close did
I wonder
he
what
get?
that thing is back there. Is that just like a workstation or something? I don't know.
It could be
Well,
the
it-
workstation.
It could be like a battery type thing because there's a register above it.
Well, I just see
It
battery
kind of
chargers.
looks. It kind of looks like
Like one of the
in
workbenches.
well, yeah, but it looks like what's that town? It's the neighborhood that our character came out of in Fallout 4. You know the town name. The town name. There's something that looks similar in that town.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, there's something similar in Sanctuary. Next to the power armor stand.
Workshop.
Yes, the workshop. I'm sorry, I can't think correctly today.
Words.
Well,
Words.
To me, that
Words
looks
are
like
hard.
a battery charger is what it looks like to me because we used to have one
Yes.
like that in our garage.
So here's a nice, good look at Walter Goggins'
Walton's.
character up close.
Mr. Goggins himself.
With his missing nose,
And my first
but
thought
his
a
was
of course
great
just,
nose.
smooth skin face.
it just seemed like I expected to see, like I said before
I expect
off air,
more appealing.
I expected to see more damage. And like you were saying, Sassy, I guess it does make more sense for him to be able to be more expressive.
Well, that's what.
Yeah.
So I guess the Nolans, well, Nolan and Joy, the husband and wife that are directing, they
That's the
said
half brother of
that they
Christopher
didn't
Nolan.
want to bury his face in prosthetics because they wanted to be able. He's a very expressive actor. I mean, you guys know Walton Goggins from a million things.
Oh yeah.
Justified, etc. Very expressive actor, but they didn't want to lose all of his expressions and his facial features and the things that he can do with his face while he's acting. So they didn't use a lot of. I mean, to me, it looks like he's just like a burn victim. It doesn't look like he's a ghoul.
You know what I think they
Although
should
he
have
is missing
done?
his nose.
A little more damage to the teeth.
Yeah, there is
Yeah.
a little bit more damage to them teeth.
Yeah.
I
They
just
could.
But it
Good.
kind of
I-
looks like he just didn't brush for like 6 years or something.
Well, if he didn't brush for 6 years, they probably would
little
be kind
yellow.
of chipped and broken out because
Yeah.
he is supposed to have been alive for what at this point, a couple hundred years now.
This sets place 216 years.
So yeah, he would have been alive, and he's got a very grim outlook on life. He's kind of tired
he's
of being
about to-
alive.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they don't kill him off though.
Hey
I
guys,
highly doubt that.
let's take a quick break and come back. And when we do, we're gonna keep digging in here and talk a little more about the new show coming out. All right, be right back. Hi, welcome to 3 Count Thoughts. Let me introduce the crew real quick.
Hi, I'm Maverick Stone.
I'm Romer.
And I am Jaxus. Join us as we talk all things wrestling. Each week, we'll take a topic from the wrestling world, knock it around a bit, and then go over the week in wrestling from a strictly fan perspective. We can be found on all major podcast catchers. We can also be found at 3 Count Thoughts on both YouTube and Twitter. Or you can send us an email using 3countthoughts@gmail.com. Okay, are you ready? Ring the bell. Hello, everybody. Hope you enjoyed our little break there. We're going to get right back into this. We just had to make sure we, let people have their little commercial break. Somebody might have had to go tinkle. Break. We had to give you a tinkle moment. Okay. All right. Anyway,
Need the advertising dollars. Not gonna lie.
We need money. Give us your money.
Yeah.
The
teeth thing. I think his teeth, like maybe just give him a broken tooth and towards the back or something. I understand to keep his smile kind of pretty, but like knock a tooth out.
That was kind of funny because somewhere in here I'm trying to find the exact quote where they talked about him. But Lisa Joy said something about we needed him to be a little hot. So some people were like, what?
Yeah. Need a sexy guy with no nose.
So she says, okay, so here she says, you have to be, so she says an actor, basically, like their face is their instrument. So you have to be very careful with that when you're putting a full appliance on their face because you hired the actor for that reason. It's the tiny little expressions and the changes that they make. That's basically who they are. So they devised the look of the ghoul. You need to be able to see Walton and his performance. He needs to look like a ghoul from the game, and he needs to be kind of hot.
Yeah, he needs to be kind of hot, man.
And the last part, literally true. The first day we were shooting with Walton in makeup, he comes to set. I'm looking at him. I'm like, Walton, are you crying? And he had just had sweat leaking out of the prosthetics around his eyes. He was hot.
Well, they said he had to be hot.
He had to be hot.
He's hot.
So who are some of these other people? Is there any mention of these other individuals like Dave Register or Johnny Pemberton? I guess Johnny Pemberton.
Not really. I mean, they talked a little. They talk about Lucy. They barely mention Kyle. They talk a little bit about a couple actors who are.
Well, Kyle's in the photo.
I recognize this Michael Emerson from some TV,
like Sarita Chowdhury, who was in Homeland. They're playing a mayor. Or no, wait, she's she's the head of the outside people.
The Philly people.
Yeah. Let's see. The guy on Lost, he plays a researcher named Wilzig. And he is the one who is probably going to be helping Lucy chase down this artifact with the potential to radically change the power dynamic of this world, which is what she's after.
Huh.
It's not going to be a water chip, I'm pretty sure, because, we already played that. And
been there, done that, right?
Been there, done that, different. Bought the t-shirt.
Because everybody's like, oh, it's going to be Fallout 1. She's going to be looking for the water chip. I don't think so.
No.
Because it says artifact, and I don't think of water chip as an artifact.
And of course,
so
poor
like
Annabelle O'Hagan has no picture. So I have no idea who that is.
So let's talk possible plot for this, since we're going back to the Boneyard. That's NCR space.
Is really like when she meets people like the ghoul, and he's, I guess, her polar opposite. She's the everything's bright and shiny, and he's the I'm here to tell you it's not.
He's Eeyore.
Yeah, like this is reality. Then it just basically just says that it just, it tracks her collision with the hard reality of other people's experiences and what happened to the people who were left behind and left to die. It does say that they are keeping the same twisted sense of humor that made the video games what they were. So that's kind of good because that's one thing we all love Fallout. It's because of that twisted sense of humor that we all love.
So I'm wondering, is the whole show going to be surrounding around Ella Purnell, or if it's going to like bounce back and forth? Like Aaron Clifton's character Maximus is going to have his own story arc.
If it is anything like Westworld, I'm sorry, they're going to be all over the place.
Well, just the way I'm looking at things, it kind of looks like Aaron
the
Clifton
stuff that the Nolans have done before.
It just looks to me like each person's going to have their own story arc.
Yes.
And they're going to kind of like link together somehow.
Did you ever watch Person of Interest? Because he did that.
No, I didn't. No.
I mean, it was a lot of like Person of Interest is one of those. Each week we have a story, but there's this like running backstory behind it. You know, one of those shows. So like if you only caught it like once in a while, you're like, I don't know what's going on with this part, but I can follow this thing. Because, you know, you had the
like
the weekly wrap it up thing, but then you always had the thing going on behind. So, you know, I guarantee you, I would bet money that he's going to have, you know, plots all over the place. Because
I'm just expecting like 6 or 7, like, stories within a story.
Every main character, or even, you know, partially main, whatever, is going to have their thing going on. But the other thing that kind of makes me happy is that they're going to have the Vault Boy featured in the show, basically. And it's the iconography. The iconography will be in the show. And we might learn the origin. We might get an origin story. And again, this will be canon.
For Vault Boy?
Yep.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I could see Chip just taking full advantage of that.
It says here that the Vault Boy iconography originated in the games, was intended to be ironic, tone-deaf contrast to the hardscrabble existence to those who endured on the surface. You see. The ubiquitous logo of Lucy's people, the Vault Dwellers, is a winking cartoon who perpetually flashes a giant smile and a thumbs-up grin. Nolan enjoys determination to maintain the mordant comedy was a key to making the hard work as a series. And where see it? We had a lot of conversations over the style of humor, level of violence, style of violence. And according to Todd Howard, he said that they threaded the needle really well with the TV show.
It seems to me like
I hope so.
I was looking at the Pib Boy on his arm. It's not.
It does have a Vault Boy on it.
And it's not overly big either. It's
not big.
No.
There was a conversation before, because we had seen the picture earlier about which version of Vault Boy this was, and I want to say, God, I'm trying to remember now what people decided.
The 3000.
You mean
76 3000, or am I thinking something different?
Is that Fallout 3 or? Now I can't remember what people decided, because I only have one, and that looks smaller than mine.
Yeah, that one looks like more compact than what the ones I'm used to seeing. And then what is that? Is that just a badge on their left lip?
They all have it. It's probably like either their name tag or like a radiation, you know, because like you get those badges like we wear them in the hospital and stuff like that. That's like
let you know if you're getting too much radiation or what.
It might be kind of like your lifetime.
So it might be the
radiation
sensor
meter
that feeds
for cumulative
to the,
radiation.
Pip Boy? Maybe.
Huh? Well, you would think like the Pip Boy would
actually everything would be in the Pip Boy, you would think.
So maybe it's just a name tag.
Yeah.
Because you don't know everybody in a vault that you've lived in forever, but maybe there's just I don't know how many people are in there. Or maybe that's
I
way
like
to open the doors.
How he looks though.
Maybe it's how
Mr. Overseer over here looks. He looks clean.
They all look clean, but they lived in a vault. So yeah.
No, but I'm just saying the design looks clean. It doesn't look too cluttered on the uniform.
Oh yeah, no.
And just in general.
Yeah, there's other pictures of her, I think, somewhere. And you can see her
not in this article.
Not here.
Oh, right there.
Well, you get a half picture there where her suit, you can see how the suit looks. Slightly different. And she doesn't have like a lot of armor, but I don't think that she was really.
That's an interesting looking gauntlet she's got on, though. See how
Yeah,
it's wraps
I-
around the elbow?
Yeah, the straps are on the elbow, right?
We're guessing that's the Pit Boy.
That'd be on her
No,
left
that's
hand.
her right arm.
Yeah,
Pit Boy
but
goes on your left.
You don't see the Pit Boy on the left arm. Pit Boy's
Mhm.
hiding out of view, out of frame.
Even in
She
that
would have
picture,
that
it's
on the
hiding.
left arm.
I mean, on Mr. Overseer Hank over here, yeah, it is on his left
Everybody
arm.
wears it on their left arm.
They're all, yeah. It's,
I
Have you
guess
ever played a
I guess
game where
my
it's on
whole-
your right arm?
I think it's 3 you do.
Uh-uh.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
it is either 3 or New Vegas you do.
do what?
The Pit Boy's on the right arm.
No.
I've
But you
never
can use an iPad in New Vegas.
Yeah,
Huh?
you can. You can use a
Huh?
Pit Pad.
Yeah, an iPad.
Yeah, it's
Instead
called
of
the
a
Pit
Pit Boy.
Pad.
I know.
Oh, okay. I don't
So yeah,
know.
the Pit Boy not only appears on the show, but it does get the origin story.
Okay.
And Todd Howard didn't come up with this; they did, and he said it was something they came up with, and it was really smart.
Well, if
So
you,
that's not a
if-
Todd Howard story. That's theirs, and it's going to be canon.
I wonder what that she carrying right there.
It looks like a water bottle.
You think it's that simple?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she's
Just
leaving
like-
the vault for the first time, and they probably don't know what to send her with. But water seems pretty
Or if
obvious.
It
He's
just looks like a
running away.
can, though. I mean, or like a can.
It looks
of-
like an
a
oil
chem-
can.
Yeah,
but,
like-
you know,
yeah.
it reminds me of the old canteens, old metal canteens, like from
Yeah,
Scouts.
maybe. Yeah.
What it reminds me of.
it could
Oh.
be. It could be. I agree with both of you, but we could also see that. We could also think that she may be running away to get this job done.
I
That
think
it-
she was sent. I don't think she runs away.
Here's my whole thing. You know, in Fallout 3, you have to run away because everyone's trying to kill you in the vault.
Yes, in Fallout 3 you do because they deem your father a murderer or traitor, whatever.
Traitor.
Yeah.
Same difference in the vault, I guess. But yeah, even though those in that picture above it, they all seem happy and stuff, but you know, things could have happened. And
Well, obviously something
but
happened.
it
'cause
says
if you look at her face,
it says
So-
she's
She
on a
looks-
rescue mission.
she looks scared.
well, it could be very.
Well, I mean,
likely
she
that
just
her-
walked out of the vault for the first time. Wouldn't you be scared if you had never left your house ever in your life and you walked out for the first time and you're like, what the hell's going to be out there?
So
You
if
didn't even have
remember-
windows to see what, have a heads up, like what's actually
Yeah.
going to be out there. All you've heard all your life is don't go outside or you'll die. And you're like, I'm going to go outside. Am I going to die? What's
Well,
up? I
so
mean,
if I remember right, there's
Nah.
that scene, and this might actually be the second part of that scene where it shows the inside of the vault with the
Right.
door opening, and there's looks like somebody's laying on the
there
ground,
was.
and then you
Yeah.
got, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that if
There was
she's
a
on a
fight.
rescue mission, her father, the overseer, might have been captured by some raiders or whatever that attacked the vault in some way. Because if you see, her lip is busted.
Yeah.
You see her and that tells me she took a shot from somebody, some way, somehow. Maybe she got
Or fell on her face or something.
or got rifle or got rifle butted in the face
Yeah.
by a Brotherhood of Steel person or something.
I would
You know.
not be surprised if it was Brotherhood, to be honest. Right
Well,
now.
and there's a lot of Brotherhood in this, so
Enclave
maybe.
did it.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about the Enclave.
There isn't any.
You don't see anything, but you don't know that there isn't.
No, we don't know. We don't know, but
No.
we're not
Like,
seeing any. But this is also
Like they could come
first
from
season.
Chicago.
This is the first season. They can introduce whatever they want later. This is all going to be new stuff, and it's going
This
to
is
be
all
canon.
going to be
Well, at the
canon.
same time,
And
we're, I mean,
reintroduce the Enclave.
we're only getting little bites here, so we have no idea
Yeah.
what we're in for.
Like we
You know
don't know
what
if
I
the
thought?
NCR is going to be in that. I hope so. With it being in Los Angeles,
The only
heart
problem,
of the
well,
NCR.
yeah, I mean, NCR, yeah, that's, and the
So-
time frame wouldn't be too far off. So
No, it wouldn't. That's the
No.
thing.
Yeah.
Could we see an NCR Brotherhood of Steel war in this? Because the Brotherhood and NCR aren't on the up and ups. They still aren't after New Vegas.
I mean,
Especially when you think about it, when Elder Maxon united both coasts, and he's a fanatic. Doesn't going back to the military. I would not be surprised if there was an NCR Brotherhood war in this at some point. Maybe not right away, but at some point.
Very likely.
Well, probably.
And then I wonder if there's any kind of remnant of like the Commonwealth or something like that involved,
I honestly hope they bring up the Poseidon oil rig or go out there.
Yeah.
Because
At
it's
least
off the
check
coast
it
of
out.
LA.
Well, that's already been done though, where they checked it out and found Frank Corrigan. So that's already been done. But
might be
Yeah,
able to
but-
see it from the shoreline and be like, that over there was from blah blah blah. It might have some lore
Yeah.
behind it.
stay away from there.
Just so they have some cool visual. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe.
at least bring something Enclave to the table, or other
Did you-
factions besides the Brotherhood.
This
Well,
part that you have up right here. Did you read this?
I
This
did
I
read
thought
Oh,
was
the
cool.
article
This
right
part,
here?
this section right here. So Todd Howard said he'd been approached by several people to do this, and he'd turned them down like for years to make a TV show
years.
like this. And then he, I guess, apparently loved Nolan's work, and somebody came in and he was like, well, he goes, I don't want to talk to anybody else. I want Jonah Nolan to say he won't do it. And now look, Todd got what he wanted.
Todd got what he wanted.
Yeah. Which means
Did
we
you
get
know?
what we want.
Did you
So-
know Jonathan Nolan is
Jonah Nolan.
No, it's Jonathan.
But he
It's
goes by
short.
Jonah.
I know he goes by Jonah, but I'm saying it by his legal government name.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell, but I'm very heated about this.
Why?
Did you know?
I thought you were saying I was wrong.
No, I'm not. I wasn't saying you're wrong. If you read the article like I did, also you'd say, "Oh, yeah, he also likes to be called Jonah."
I could
His
literally
full
say
name is
Jonah
John.
Nolan.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's Jonathan Nolan,
Hmm.
but he likes to be called Jonah. So I'm
He
not
goes
saying you
by-
were wrong. I'm just
think we already
saying.
spent
It's
too
like
much
your
time
name
on
is
this
not Maverick,
part.
but that's what you go by.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we move on?
I don't know.
But getting to my point here, he's related to Christopher Nolan, the guy who made the Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh,
Yeah,
But I don't think he's involved.
I
It's just
hope
his-
so.
It's just his wife.
I also liked Westworld. It was
I do
pretty
too.
good.
I liked Westworld. I thought it was very cool. The whole
I was happy when
machine
they did this.
machine human concept thing was really wild. Which, hello, Institute.
Institute right there.
I wonder
But-
where they are right here.
I do wonder that too, but
Yeah.
I don't ask a lot of
They
questions based on a
Either
photo.
could be going through a town or just maybe a
Well, just
training
all right, so-
facility or
well, all right. So you're dealing with, the Los Angeles area.
yeah.
Maybe the Redwood
I'm
Forest.
from the area. There's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of
Well,
this.
I mean, there's not a lot of woods, right?
No, there isn't.
Not unless you go to Big Bear. Maybe it's in that area, but I don't know. I
It would
mean,
be interesting to see like where they did, most of the shooting and stuff.
yeah. Well, I mean, because this actually looks like terrain-wise, it looks like
Mhm.
the same stuff that they did for The Walking Dead.
It does.
Some of the
Like
area,
Georgia?
like just the shrubbery and the way the
Georgia?
trees.
Georgia.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it just to me that looks like that kind of it looks like the
See, I
same
haven't
area.
heard anything about where they shot. I wonder if that's like a Google.
Well,
thing.
from what I understand, they shot from everywhere.
They did.
They had stuff
Yeah.
in New York and all that too. So like, just
Yeah, that's right. Because the Red Rocket Station was done up in New York because people
Yeah,
People
it
in
kept
our
leaking.
group
Right.
who lived nearby were like going by to see it.
I really think that this is gonna. I think there's. I think they're swerving everybody, and you're gonna find out that this is gonna be a timeline jump. Like, it's
Well,
gonna bounce.
Well,
See, and this
I
isn't-
honestly don't.
this
think
isn't
that,
going to be a
though.
one season thing. I have like they're
no.
going to build stories that they're going to build on that is going to arch for hopefully several seasons.
Yeah.
I
Well,
hope that, but I think right now, if I was reading correctly, this was placed 16 years after Fallout 4. It's its own specific story, and I don't think it's going to time jump. To be honest,
Yeah, I don't remember
It's just going to
seeing-
be location jumping, probably,
I don't
but I don't
remember
think it's
seeing
time
the year.
jumping.
Oh, you may be
That's-
right.
It was talked about. It was talked about last night. Someone else did more research than all of us did.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't remember seeing where the year was ever mentioned. So where? Oh, it says the story flashes forward 219 years. That's
See?
where.
Okay, fine. In 19 years after Fallout 4.
219 years. That's what this.
Sue
Okay.
me. I was off by 3 years.
Yeah, so it was like it was barely mentioned, and man, somebody picked that up quick. That's great. Yeah, I remember seeing like 200, but I didn't really even like equate it to, oh, it's going to be here in the timeline. I didn't really think about
Yeah,
that.
I was and I mean, like I paid the
I
least
wouldn't-
amount of attention, so
I would not be surprised, though. Sorry to butt in, but I would not be surprised if they showed off a little New Vegas, maybe based on that photo, because that looks like the desert. That's not all boneyard.
Yeah, but it does seem to fit in with that photo where
Oh,
she's standing there looking
just
at Philly.
so you guys are aware, if you're not familiar with California, it is a desert.
Yeah.
I
I've
know.
been to
I
California.
know.
I know what California.
It's like this
looks
could be
like.
Joshua Tree, or Palm Springs,
Right. Well, I mean, it looks like it fits in with the shot above of Philly.
Yeah, I mean,
Same lighting and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, at the
good.
same time,
I
Same
retract
junky
my
kinda-
statement.
on top of that, it pretty much turned California all into desert. So I mean,
Yeah, I retract my statement then.
Yeah.
But besides the New Vegas part, I hope we see a little bit.
that would be. I mean, there's got to be some element of it. I mean, like you were talking
But
about
it's
the
so
NCR.
close to the boneyard, though, that you can't do it. You can't just leave it out. I mean, you can, but
you can.
Oh yeah, you can, but
Like if they don't want to deal with that because they don't want to get into the existing
house-
timeline. Because they said, it
Always
exists
wins.
in the story, but that doesn't mean that they're going to mess with it,
I don't think they're going to mess with it. It'd just be more like a location, to be honest. Fallout New Vegas. I don't think they're going to mess with any of that because that storyline was chef's kiss perfect, right from me. But I feel like if they were to do it, they would give it justice at least.
Well, what they should do is actually have these individuals worked into the show somehow.
I know. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Even just as extras or something, right? That would be
Right.
so cool.
Well, now
yeah, that's new.
actually,
That
now-
would be your like Easter eggs.
the female that's in this story that I can't remember her name right now, but she's actually shaved her head and she's got a whole different kind of look to herself. But he actually looks pretty much the same.
No idea what the ghoul looks like because it's kind of hard
No,
to tell
yeah.
with ghoul makeup on.
Well, and so I expected the ghoul makeup to kind of look like he does.
Yeah, I kind of
You
did
know?
too, but like I remembered how he did his nose and stuff and was like, well, he doesn't look too far off from that.
I
They
just
just
think it's
didn't
lighting.
scuff up the
For those
cheeks and
that
stuff as
don't know,
much.
we're actually looking at what was the name of this?
It was Nuka Break.
Nuka
Nuka
Break.
Break.
Yeah, this is Nuka Break. It was a fan-made movie.
It was a great
probably-
movie.
Was it in the
I-
Great.
90s? Was it in the
Oh my
90s
gosh, yeah.
they made that?
Like
Something
early
It
like
was
that?
2000s?
so good.
Early 2000s.
So
But
good.
yeah, this was probably the absolute
You can find it on
best
YouTube.
that
Yeah.
you'd be able to see of as far as storyline
Yeah.
and just the whole 9 yards. These guys did a bang up job of
10 out of 10.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say a 10 out of 10. I
Really
actually
did.
really enjoyed this whole series that they had put out for this.
To
And
be honest.
these guys are like the front runners. I believe this guy here actually works like a regular job now. And it's just,
I think
would-
it
I
was
would
one
like
of the
to-
first fan
Yeah, it was
made-
one of
well,
those first.
one of the best ones. There's another one
I don't remember what it
based
was.
on New Vegas with a guy who goes around with the blue stars. I can't remember what it's called, but he's by himself and he's looking for some lady's daughter. And it's really good. I cannot remember the name of
If you
it.
want to listen to more of Nuka Break and how we like it, go listen to episode number 8, our fan made our fan made movies,
Our favorite
about
fan fiction.
yeah
Fan
our
fiction,
favorite
whatever.
fan made movies or stuff on out there. Just a little heads up there. But
Yeah, that was
stick with us and finish listening to this before you go over there, though.
that was one of our early ones, but that was a good one.
Yeah, I'd love to revisit it. Not now that the TV show is out there, sorta. And
Yeah.
we have a date, and we sort of have a date now.
We do.
It's April 12th.
It is a debt. It is a date. Yeah. Amazon has said
April
they have
12th.
deemed it.
I expect a trailer soon, within the next within the month. Maybe the beginning of the month. Maybe it's during the Super Bowl in February. I would expect it, if it doesn't come out first of the year, to be a Super Bowl trailer. Because the Fallout is just that big that they would do it. They would spend the money to do
has
it
Amazon
there.
have they ever
Maybe not
advertised any of
specific
their shows off of their own?
Well, none of them have been. Actually, no. Man in the High Castle was pretty big.
So
That was
I
good.
love the man. I love the Man in the High Castle.
So
Hated the ending, but I loved it.
Maverick, being that we're going to be starting our own little wrestling podcast here in the future. There you go, guys. You heard it first here.
Plug.
Ah!
Yeah, we're going to be starting a new show called 3 Count Thoughts, and we're going to be doing our own, wrestling stuff. We're going to talk about the history of wrestling in certain aspects, and then we're going to kind of go into checking out what happened that week in, this week in wrestling and that kind of stuff. But my point being that I brought that up is WrestleMania. So now with the brand new purchase of WWE by this new group, advertisements change. That's why you saw Ruffles and you saw, the
I don't like those, but I'll get into it into that show. I don't like some of those advertisements, but I can get in later.
We'll get further into that. But what if they were to drop a spot for this show during WrestleMania? You know what I mean? Kind of like a boost?
No. I honestly don't think so, because it's on Peacock.
It's pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view, but they might have something in the background or on the banner, on the tables, kind of thing. You never know. Or it might be sponsored by, instead of having the Ruffles potato chips, it's sponsored by Fallout because of the time frame. Being
I know
April.
the time frame would match perfectly with it, but I don't think they would do it, though, since it's
I don't think so.
Since it's on Peacock.
Think about your target audiences and who are the people who have Amazon Prime. Those are the people that you got to market to, because and the target, you got to market to the people who have Amazon. You got to market to the people who are likely to get Amazon to watch this show.
What I would expect to see, it'd be on a Thursday night football, Amazon Prime football game. Because Amazon Prime does Thursday.
But you also got to remember, like, if they're looking at getting new subscribers, who are those people?
I would say the first trailer would come out on an Amazon Prime something.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I don't know. I just think it'd fit the demographic, being that they are usually targeting people between 18 to 30 years old.
Oh no, I don't. I agree with that too, but I don't think it would be WrestleMania, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
I would think more.
I'm not
Super
the
Bowl.
demographic that watches WrestleMania.
Yeah, but you're also not 18 to 30 years old.
Hey, totally am.
Neither am I, but the thing is
guess what, guys? I am, though.
You're the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Child.
Yes, I'm a child that drives big semis for a living.
God, it like
That's
makes me
not
sick that I
scary
sit
at
here and I
all.
think, Jackson, I could be your parents. It's sickening.
Could be my parent, but anyway.
It could be mine. That'd be scary.
That's a possibility, but well, I could be your dad too. So
Yes.
I don't want to
Sonny boy.
I don't want to
take you over my knee and whoop your tail. Yeah. Anyway,
My dad always says, "Going tie a knot in your tail." I never knew how that was possible.
well, I'm not even going to try to attempt to figure that one out.
I'm not either.
So
No, I like the pictures. I think the pictures look great. It really makes me excited to see the show.
Yeah, and so Oh, this is what I was looking at. This right here. Okay, hold on a second.
So the pink thing behind her is kind of questionable, but
I'm making this
I
quick
wasn't
video
concerned about
because
the water
it has
bottle.
been
All right, so hold on here. Let me
What
grab
was
this.
that?
Pop this
Ghost
one
music. Ooh.
I
over
thought there was
here.
a preview.
Hold on a
No,
second.
there
one
has
month
been a
since joining
I
the
wanted you to
Cash Flow
see the
101
makeup
system,
in
and
this.
so what I wanted to
What
do
is
is
this?
It's a fan.
Yeah,
made
there is
trailer.
a teaser trailer. That's what I thought.
No, it's fan made. There was a teaser at
Oh,
GameCon.
I didn't see
But what
that.
about this one with
Okay.
Walton on the side here?
No,
Yeah, there was a fan made one, and
Yeah, but so what I was
everybody
seeing,
got really excited about.
it
Yeah.
looked good. It looked good, but
Yeah, I
there
think this
has
is the one
been
we decided
teasers
was not.
out, but they're not made to the public yet.
well, it wasn't that, so that's
BC,
part of
but that's
that's
from
what I
Fallout
was
4.
looking at.
I think what they did was they took him from another show
And then
and altered his
superimposed
face.
the damage. Yeah, because the damage on his face in some of these is like
Different.
way more. Yeah.
But when is it? That's a year ago. Never mind.
That's a year ago. That's too old.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
He had
just
teased a couple things. Like I know they wrapped filming like a long time ago because
Oh, yeah,
he
no,
talked about
yeah.
it on Twitter when he was done. He was like, "We just wrapped this and da da da," and then he said something recently. I think because they had put something out or something, and he was saying, "Oh, I think it was when they dropped the date." He was saying we had a date and we were really excited about seeing it.
Yeah, and it's not gonna. It's one of those where it's already filmed, so it's probably not going to be delayed like everything else in the media industry these days.
Well, I think it was though. I think
this
they
was
did
the
get delayed
scene
a
that I
little
was
bit.
looking at that caught my attention because
Yeah, because you see legs on the ground.
yeah, down over here, but
Yeah.
outside the door, that looks like that's her standing outside.
It could be. Well, yeah,
Just-
because we always said it looked like it was a female because it was very thin.
Well, just
Yeah.
imagine. So if you're seeing this perspective, think of it from like a cameraman's kind of point of view.
Yeah.
Instead of going up to it, what you do is it pans to the front of her,
Mhm.
and it's going to show her kind of doing this whole. It's bright, and her hand goes up.
It's bright. The
And
sun.
Well, I'm
then-
sure she was standing there
Ah.
and then moved, and then they just caught her on two different cameras.
Well, the thing is like it'd start from the back like this when they first open
Mhm.
it, steps out, and then it'll pan to the
Yeah,
front of
they-
her where she's puts
And
her
then
hand
she'd
up,
move,
she's doing this, and then you get to see the landscape.
right.
You know, I just think that's how
are you
they would
talking
do it.
about like when you initially
'Cause
see in
It
Fallout
reminds me
3,
of when you step out of 3 the
see-
first time, and
Yeah, same thing.
you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
that's what I was
it's so
just talking
bright."
about. Yeah.
And it's like, then you see everything.
Then you see the
was
Washington
cool.
D.C. skyline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be quite. I have a feeling that
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
And I think that, I mean, that if that's you stepping out for the very first time, I mean, you're gonna have that look on your face, like, oh my God, because
Especially if
Oh,
you
yeah.
lived in
world
a
just
vault your
got
whole life.
so big.
Yeah.
I mean, you're used to being in a vault where everybody's on top of each other, and then you come out here and it's just like everything's so big and so empty, and you see a sky for the first time in your life. And
Breathing
people have
air
talked
that
about this
isn't
thing
fake.
called the sun, but you've never seen it. And it's bright and it hurts. And I mean,
Oh, sunburn. Oh.
think about like the things going through her head when she steps out. I mean, she's gonna have funny looks on her face, I would think.
Yeah,
There'll be
it
a
would
lot
be-
going, a lot of
do-
processing
a
happening.
lot of perplexion. It'd be like,
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
should I just turn
wow.
around and go back in?
Right. Like, do I, what was I thinking?
Mm.
Do I really want to do this?
So what do you, some final thoughts kind of thing, like what do you think, what do you feel like we might be getting into here? Like, what do you think we're going to see?
Well, she's going to summon, I have a feeling, knowing Brotherhood of Steel, I have a feeling that she is going to be after whatever it is that they're looking for, or they have found it and she needs to get it from them. Right.
So you don't think she's going to like join up with the faction kind of thing, or
No,
just gonna-
because
I don't think-
she's on a mission, right?
right?
She's not going to join the Brotherhood. She doesn't have time to go through like, okay, I'm going to go to basic training and we're going to yada, yada, yada. And I got to go do my drills and my runs. But no, she doesn't have time for that. She's on a rescue mission. And I have a feeling that knowing the Brotherhood of Steel and how they're,
So
technology
regimented.
hogs,
Yeah.
They probably are after this thing, or they hear that she's after it, and then now they want it, or something's going to happen, and they're going to be in a race with her, or they're going to be hunting her down, or something. That's going to be the thing. And who knows if Walton, what is he, a mercenary? He may end up
He is a
helping or
bounty
hindering her.
hunter. He is
Right,
a
but
bounty hunter ghoul.
maybe, okay, so maybe they hire him to find her. I don't know.
Or he just,
Or
even though
he
he's
just
a bounty hunter,
or he just
maybe
volunteers.
he might like be one of those situations where they're kind of thrust together, even
Yeah.
though they didn't really want to be. And it'd
Yeah.
be one of those
I
situations
could
where,
see that.
like,
Because they're
he
polar
builds
opposites.
sympathy for her, kind of
He's
thing.
probably going to be like, "Girl, you know nothing, go away,"
Yeah.
or he's going to be like, "Do I need to hold your hand on this because you're going to get yourself killed if I
And then
don't?"
he ends up
Yeah.
saving her, protecting her, and possibly teaching her how to
Yeah.
survive in the wasteland.
Right.
It might be that teacher, arc
Yeah.
kind of thing.
That kind
may
of,
be where we go. Yeah.
I just adopted a puppy and I can't leave it to
Right.
die.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so cute. I can't leave it out here to die. I guess I'll take it home with me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just thinking that might be like he might maybe it might show some of his past before he was a ghoul and he had a family
right.
and he had a
Yeah.
daughter and maybe
Like
you
when
know
he
what I mean, some
explains,
heartstring pulling kind of
yeah,
stuff,
she probably will
Yeah.
be like, "So, what was your life like?" And then maybe he'll get into that. Yeah, and we
Yeah.
get to see some of that.
That might
'Cause I
be
think they did allude to the point that we will see past versions of him.
well, and so
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
well, you got to
So
think
we'll
you
get
got to
to
create.
see him without ghoul makeup.
Maybe
You
we'll
have to
get to
create
see a
character
nuclear
depth.
bomb.
If he's just some guy that happens to be a bounty hunter and and they end it there, as far as that's not going to make the character have depth. So
No,
to
yeah.
create depth, he's
You're
got to
right.
have some sort of past.
And
that
if we know
past,
anything
yeah,
about him and his characters, they are full of depth. So
yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking
I'm
that
sure they're gonna give
he's
him
got to
that.
have something to draw on there, and it's
Yes.
probably what creates his harshness. He probably wasn't.
Yes.
He was probably a sweet human as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Might have been
But
a
when the world
grocery
kicked him in the
clerk.
teeth a few thousand times, then he got very cynical and he got
Mhm.
very, because it says, he's basically sick of the world and he's sick of, being in the world for so long. That's basically his outlook on life. And
He's
it's
ready
probably
to go bye-bye.
it's probably because of everything that he's been through.
Yeah.
So yeah. I
Very
think that would be a
interesting.
really good, I think that would be a good way to go with the show. I could see it going like that.
Yeah.
I could see that, but okay, here's my final thoughts here. What factions do we expect to see besides the Brotherhood of Steel, which I'm hoping for either Caesar's Legion, NCR, maybe a return of the Enclave. Who knows?
Raiders, obviously.
I'm
Obviously
expecting at
Raiders.
some point, because of some of the characters that I've seen, I'm expecting somewhere along the line members of the Institute to be involved.
I think so too, because they already have, the Institute down with
Yeah.
Westworld behind them. Like Institute's nothing for them. I think they could totally bring it in.
But I
They can
feel
bring
like
it
though
in.
with the Institute though, that was a Fallout 4 thing.
So,
That was a Commonwealth thing. I don't think the Institute would travel that far outside.
well, so
But
it
then
doesn't
you'd
have to be
also
the
have-
Institute. It could be another. I mean, there's Berkeley out there, right?
Well, so
Pretty
my
scientific, aren't they?
so there's also all right, so we've had
Caltech?
our own speculations before about the Institute being involved with like the Enclave and things
Yeah.
like that. So
Mhm.
there's no reason we can't, remember this is going to be canon, but it's new stories. So
Yeah.
the speculation can go that far. Maybe, University of Berkeley, like she was saying, or
Mhm.
something like there, or ITT Technical Institute is actually, whatever their version of it,
Yeah.
it turns out to be some sort of like offshoot of
Because
the
you've got
Enclave's
good engineering schools out
R&D,
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree. I believe that.
I mean,
I
MIT
think
is
so.
not the only place that can probably come up with this stuff, or CIT.
I'm trying to figure
Um,
out a way where the Enclave actually is somewhere in, because to
Yeah.
me, the
They
Enclave
can't
is
just leave out the Enclave.
well,
man.
to me, the
But-
Enclave is one of the best as far as like the secret society
Right.
elements.
Yeah.
It's like
I have a feeling they're gonna I'm sorry to cut you off there,
That's
but here's what my idea is. They'll finally tell us what happened to the people in Chicago
Maybe.
at the
I don't think
Chicago
right away, though.
outpost. Those enclave.
I don't know.
Because they're still enclave in Chicago. We don't know what happened to them.
We're in LA, so
you don't know.
guess
You don't
we'll
think
find
that they
some-
have feet and they can
we'll
walk?
find out that there's some enclave remnants hanging out at some university where
It
they
depends
were
on if they
sent
can
to
reestablish
do
communications too. So
right.
I mean, what if
You
the
also got to
neighbors?
think about this Poseidon oil rig. They could redo that. They could reinstitute that because yes, in the original game, it was
Destroyed.
It was destroyed, but I don't think it was completely destroyed though. So they could probably bring it back.
How
though.
far
I thought it
past
was
four
pretty
is,
well
Oh, no,
destroyed.
76 is before. What
Yeah,
am I-
Yeah,
76
76 is before.
Yeah, 76 is like 25 years
The
in.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's it is 25.
I was just
Well,
thinking
20
about,
Yeah.
Well,
25.
it's either it's
I was
either
actually
20,
thinking of
25
Modus.
years.
and I was thinking of like, I don't know. I was like wondering if there's a way that they could utilize Appalachia and Modus and stuff like that and bring that into that area.
Only if they start going by coastal.
Well, he's
But
AI,
I think
so
that
he's
they could-
technical. He can kind of not be anywhere.
Well,
you know what I
according
mean?
to the 76 lore, though, because I've been looking into a lot of this because I'm writing a show
Well-
right now.
They did have ties with the West Coast for a while.
They did, but then you got to remember, General Santiago's coup, and basically they blew up all the communications out there with Modus.
So
Are
they
we-
destroyed Modus, or they just
No,
cut
they
him off?
didn't. They didn't destroy
No,
him.
they
They damaged
but
him
then we
enough.
come in and we fix Modus.
Yeah, we fix him, and then we
And then the
still can't
California Brotherhood comes into Appalachia, but then depending on which way you go with the Brotherhood of Steel ending, either Romani destroys communications or not. But if you I let Shin
There's
live,
a lot
so
of
Shin
canon
goes
stuff
back to
that will have
California.
to be sorted out. Like the ending of Fallout 4, if they bring that up.
So there is a
They-
possibility of this.
I'm not
just trying
saying
to-
there's not a possibility. I'm saying
I mean,
there's
honestly,
a
I
possibility.
think the simplest way to go about it is to say that there's enclave remnants that are holed up, like the enclave scientists that are holed up in some university, like Caltech or Berkeley or whatever, and they've been doing the work similar to what CIT's doing in the Commonwealth, and they're instituting their own version of synths. And that's
Okay,
how
I'd
we
love to see
find
sense. I'm
some
sorry, I would.
enclave and institute at the same time together. We discover that they've been there all this time working on this technology, cut off from the enclave because
I can't
the oil
wait.
rig was destroyed and et
I
cetera,
know.
et cetera.
I'm like wondering how wrong we are. Like if we're just completely
I would
I know.
love to
amazed, you
see
know?
that we're completely
Maybe they're listening
off.
and they're like, that's a great idea, we'll do that.
Yeah, no doubt. That'd be great. Hey
Because
Todd,
they all listen to our
Todd,
show, so.
a little bit of writer's credits.
Hey,
That'd be
Todd.
nice. Yeah.
Mr. Nolan, please.
We'll accept walk-ons,
Yeah, no doubt.
the
Yeah.
extras.
$2 per download.
No,
like-
like literally, just put me in the show. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, put me in the show. I want to be in a power suit
Anyway,
or an enclave character.
I
please.
think this is our speculatory end of this one. If you guys have anything you guys want to share with us, leave us a message at followrtb on Twitter, or you can send us an email at followrtb@gmail.com, which we previously stated. And if you are listening to this and you'd like to see some of the pictures that we had done, you can go to the Fallout Roundtable on YouTube, because I've changed it so it doesn't have any weird stuff on it anymore. You can just type in the Fallout
Yay.
Roundtable and
Yay.
it'll pop up. And and stuff, and then you can check out it's not just our talking heads. I finally decided to like start incorporating some little thingies.
some
in
screen
there.
shares.
Heads.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
floating
I
That
mean,
was
it's
cool
where we
because
could
we
share
got
a
to see
picture.
the pictures.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the
Ooh.
articles. So we'll have to remember this in April and come back, or like in May or June, whatever, when the thing kicks off, and go, oh my gosh, how wrong were we?
Yeah, right.
Like, this show's
Revisit.
not
Yeah, I
anything
know.
like what we
thought.
Let's revisit our stupidity. Or
Yeah, like, we were
wow, we
so
got it all
wrong.
right. How did that happen? That
Whoa,
would be awesome.
we know things.
Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for us tonight. See you next time. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Have a
Good
great week.
morning.
Morning. Why do you do that? It's like no, it's like morning and like what?
He just wants to be different.
I want to
like
be different.
He
Yeah.
wants to be unique.
Everybody
Let
in
me be-
Australia, good morning. All right.
Good morning.
That's it. We're talking to
Good
the Australia
morning.
crowd.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.